let me surprise you. Many years ago, I used to be one of those people, but I knew at a young age. I used to be one of those people that would speak about pastors. When they do something that is not right, I say, listen, what is wrong is wrong. Let's call a spade a spade. One day, God sat me down. He said, let me tell you something. I said, what is it? He said, when I call a man, any man that I call, when I call him to be my servant, I have a covenant on his life. Anytime I see him, it is the covenant I'm looking at, not his error. So anytime you are debating his error, you are telling me that I made a mistake to pick him. He said, that is why with all David did, I was not seeing David and Bathsheba. I was seeing the covenant that David, Jesus was going to come from the lineage of David. That's what I was checking. That's why I kept him. I disciplined him, but I kept him. So anytime you say, look at this man of God. Look, you are telling God, why will you use him first? And very soon, God will use you as an example to prove that he doesn't make mistakes. He said, son, I don't see their errors. I see my covenant. That is why you see the man, some characters you don't like in the woman's life, in the man's life, and the grace of God is still heavy. You are seeing what is going on. God is not seeing what you are seeing. God is seeing his covenant. He's seen the covenant. I became very careful. There are some people who are my sons in the Lord, and people are wondering, how can this kind of person be your son? Once I notice you love God, no matter your limitation, no matter your error, no matter what you are battling with, I draw you close. Because I know with time, when you grow, the things you used to do, you will do them no more. It's a problem of growth. Many things we see today are sin and iniquity in the life of some people. It's nothing but a function of immaturity. When they grow, they will understand that there are certain things they don't need in their life. That is why I'm not critical of anybody. Even if I walk in somewhere, I see you doing something, I walk away. Because God does not see as man see. You are trying to rebuke and be angry. I will not copy you. I will not learn evil from you. But I'm very careful, because what God looks on men is covenant. Before they were born, God had a deal over their life. What he would do with them, what he would do with them. If they go out of line and they step out of the bloodline, it is still God that will deal with them, not you. That's why you abuse some preachers online. You will curse them on social media, call them name, their ministry is still growing. You are confused. Call them anything, curse them, they are still growing. Because what God sees is covenant. God does not see this error. That does not mean that error should be legalized, or error should be permitted or endorsed. But that's not how God sees. When I saw that what God checks is covenant. There's a covenant of predestination. So sitting down speaking against the head of department or gossiping your pastor is attracting a curse on your life. And I'm not saying this to threaten you. I'm telling you what it is. That is why most people that are close to an anointed man often become casualties of life. They are very close to an anointed man. They become casualties of life. Why? Because they become too familiar with the anointing. And let me say this to you. No matter how familiar you are with an anointing, it can still punish you. If you think I'm lying, ask Gehazi. Gehazi was so close to Elisha, yet Elisha still released blindness on him. Leprosy rather on him. Still release leprosy on him. No matter how close you are to an anointed man, his grace can still fight you if you go out of line. So you must know nobody, and when I say anointed man, anybody your pastor puts in leadership becomes a delegate of your pastor. So to look at him and challenge him and abuse him, you are invariably abusing your pastor. And that's the generation we are in now. The Bible says the generation of them that curse their fathers. There are people, no matter, let them fast from now till the end of the world. Let them pray. Let them shout like canary. There is no matter what they do. No, their heavens are closed. Closed. By reason of what their mouth is saying. There are some believers who say things that demons dread. When they are talking, even demons say, hey. I mean, they are talking Levatian, Beelzebub, Asmodi, incubus and succubus. These are spirit wife and spirit husband, incubus and succubus. When they get there, they hear what you say. Hey, you have mind though. Because the things they cannot say. Pa, 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 pa. And once you are close to a brother or a sister who is very critical of church operation, I beg you in the name of the Lord, block his number from your phone. Block his number. You can't share a piece of meat with your teeth and say you didn't taste it. Are you following me? Block anyone. Block that person's number who is critical. All they are seeing is the error. Church has not blessed them one day. Church has never blessed them. What good has your pastor done for you? None. What good has your pastor's wife done? None. Is quarrel, trouble, quarrel. And this your rebellious attitude was an inheritance. Same thing your father did in Orthodox church and they suspended him. If you argue with everybody, he won't bring one kobo, but time of bazaar, he wants to control. When the time for bazaar, he wants to control. Who brought goat? Who brought goat? We need to know. I've discovered that people that don't give money are always critical of money matters. Poor people always argue about money. One of the signs to know that you are broke is when money matters irritate you. When money matters, that's a sign of poverty. When you see, even if you don't have it, when they are talking about it, be smiling. Nobody's putting a gun to your head. When people talk, we say, yeah, that's true. They say they just did this road with about 10 million. Exactly, 10 million, that's true. Start liking it. What you like, you attract.